Alright, so another vlog, another day. Wasn't going to record this one today because I'm feeling a bit, I don't know, I'm feeling mentally drained. Even though I'm not tired and I don't feel exhausted, I just feel mentally drained. So bear with me on this one. We'll work through it as best we can. So I just wanted to have a chat about gatekeeping. In particular, gatekeeping in astronomy. It is something I've absolutely experienced. I can remember when I first started getting into astronomy with my son, it was not very easy even for him to get into it. There were some instances where we were told that, oh, it's a phase, it'll pass, you know, don't bother with it, don't bother buying him a telescope, things like that, which is probably not the right way to go about it. In hindsight, well, I say in hindsight, not hindsight for us, or just hindsight for the person who told us this. But look, persistence, he became into astronomy, became a member of a club. He's still a member of that club, and he still does amazing stuff, and he wants to be an astrophysicist. So we push past that, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people would have taken that advice and gone, oh, we won't bother getting him a telescope or anything like that. For me, myself, it's come through using this thing on this thing. And you wouldn't think that would be such a big deal, but there are some in the world of astronomy who don't take kindly to people using technology that is not a digital SLR or a dedicated astro camera. And they tell you quite publicly that what you're doing is not astrophotography, when in fact it is. It absolutely is astrophotography. And you know, it's not one or two times, it's quite a number of times. Or you get the, you know, like the good puppy, oh, that's a really, oh, you've done so well, oh, aren't you proud? You get those sort of condescending remarks as well from people, which was really frustrating as well, because some of the work that I produce now is probably, well, not probably, is better than work that people using what would be, people would term proper astrophotography gear are producing. So much like every hobby, you know, the world of trains, the world of book collecting, sport, there are gatekeepers, even in the world of astronomy, who will try and knock you down or try and make you feel not as important or not as good at what you do or what part of astronomy you're into. You know, there are many other experiences in the world of astronomy, particularly recently, that I could go into, but I won't. But suffice to say, if you are interested in astronomy, do not let anybody tell you not to do it or not to pursue it, or that you've got the wrong gear, or you've bought the wrong telescope, or why did you buy this, you know, start with that item, or, oh, you know, you can't do something unless you've spent thousands of dollars and got all the proper gear. You know what? You've got to work with what you've got a budget for. You've got to work with what you've got available, and you got to do the best you can. And if you find and surround yourself with the right people, you will absolutely enjoy yourself. And I know that the people I surround myself with in the world of astronomy love what I do. I love what they do. They're very helpful. They're very friendly. They give lots and lots of advice. And if I'm stuck, I always know where to turn to. That's for sure. And I'm always happy to have a chat to anybody who wants to ask me questions about how I got into what I'm doing, why I do what I do, and why I don't want to go to a proper dedicated, obviously I'm using it now, dedicated astro camera, why I don't want to go to a CCD or a monochrome camera or digital SLR. And well, the real reason is because I reckon I get bored of that. I love the challenge of using a mobile phone. I really do. It's one heck of a thing to try and do. It's so very different to any other form of astrophotography. Plus, it means I can still do visual at the same time as well. You know, I can have a look at the object, then put the phone on and do my astrophotography. And, you know, I like doing a myriad of things. But yeah, that's just my little rant about gatekeeping in the world of astronomy. It happens. Unfortunately, it tends to be old white folks, old white men in particular, who don't like to have others get into their hobby, you know, and I guess, actually, I'm not going to finish yet. I'm going to continue. I guess the other one is when they bang on about it's got to be serious. You have to be serious about astronomy. You can't have fun. Heaven forbid you try and have fun or do something differently. I guess one thing that I will mention in relation to my training on the telescopes I've been doing is that I'm not very good at maths in the handwritten sense of it, doing mathematical calculations. I know enough to get by. I've got dyslexia, so it's like I struggle doing that writing down of maths. And I wanted to use, hang on, army's getting sore. Whoa, there we go. Hang on, no, that's better. And I wanted to use an app because there are apps that can give me the answers that I need to select the objects that I would put on a viewing list through the Melbourne Observatory telescopes. And I got told, oh no, you can't use the apps. You've got to write it down. You've got to do. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not going to pass the program if I do it that way. I'm telling you now. You need to understand that people learn differently. And it was brick wall. And thankfully, it took some time, but people have seen reason to understand that the apps are good. They give the information. I can get hour angle and sidereal time and right ascension and declination from these apps to choose my objects based on a specific time in the night. So I can absolutely do that. And instead of having to calculate them out on the fly, I can actually just go to the app and go, I've decided I want to look at a completely different target that's not on my list, and I can get the information for the right time. So I guess that's another one as well when it comes to gatekeeping. Gatekeeping not only from telling people they're using the wrong equipment to gatekeeping, trying to keep things old school instead of allowing new technologies to flow into the field of astronomy and the hobby of astronomy, and allowing more and more people to get into it and enjoy it. And that is the end of today's vlog rant. Thank you for sticking around. I'll see you on the next one.